Imagine waking up 6 months from now, looking in the mirror, and not just seeing a different person, but feeling like one, stronger, sharper, more fulfilled, more you than you've ever been. 6 months is not a lifetime. It's not forever, but it is enough time to change everything. 6 months is 182 days 368 hours of decisions, discipline, and direction. Not perfection, progress. We dramatically overestimate what can be done in a day and tragically underestimate what can be achieved in 6 months of focus, clarity, and conviction. This isn't a speech, it's an invitation, not to chase a dream, but to build it. Main message: the difference between who you are today and who you could be in 6 months comes down to one thing: the decision to start, not tomorrow, not next Monday, not on the 1st of the month, now. Because transformation isn't an accident, it's not a result of luck or timing, it's engineered, designed, chosen. Every single day you're writing your future with tiny, invisible decisions: the food you eat, the words you speak, the thoughts you feed, the people you surround yourself with, the habits you repeat when no one is watching. And here's the truth: you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your systems are built for mediocrity, you'll live in the land of almost. Almost started, almost followed through, almost made it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. That mindset is the very trap that keeps people stuck year after year, watching others grow, while they sit on the sidelines with great intentions and no execution. People say they're waiting for the right time, when what they really mean is they're afraid to start. The reality is, there is no right time. There is no magical alignment of circumstances when everything feels easy and the path is clear. The perfect moment is a myth sold to us by fear. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Every moment you delay, you're not just standing still. You're falling behind on who you could become. Each time you push your dreams to tomorrow, you hand your power to hesitation. You make excuses your ruler, and you convince yourself that later is safer. But later is uncertain, and safety is often just a disguise for fear. Right now, this moment is the raw material of change. It doesn't need to be fancy. You don't need special equipment, a grand plan, or some sort of divine sign from the universe. You just need one thing: the courage to begin. That's where every transformation starts. Not with a loud announcement, not with a crowd cheering, not with everything in place. Just one decision, one choice that says, "I'm done waiting." One small step that separates those who talk about change from those who actually change. Action doesn't need to be massive, it needs to be honest. You don't need to sprint, you need to move inch by inch, day by day, forward. When people say, "I'll start when I feel ready," what they don't realize is that readiness is a byproduct of action. Confidence is not a prerequisite, it's a reward. You earn it through motion. And the more you delay, the harder it becomes to believe you're capable of starting at all. You start to build a habit of hesitation, and hesitation hardens into identity. You start to see yourself as someone who almost made the change, who almost pursued the dream, who almost built the life they wanted. But you are not your delays, you are your decisions, and nothing changes until you decide that waiting is no longer an option. You have to break that mental loop that says you need more time, more information, more security. Growth happens when you move before you're ready. Growth demands a little discomfort. That discomfort isn't a sign you're not ready. It's a sign you're heading in the right direction. Every meaningful change starts with some resistance. That's how you know it matters. You are not supposed to feel completely prepared. You are supposed to feel slightly scared and still move forward. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in the presence of it. And that action starts today, not tomorrow, not next week. Not on your birthday, not on January 1st. It starts with the decision to no longer settle for the life that's been handed to you and to take responsibility for creating the life that's possible. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement fades. Anyone can feel motivated for a few moments when the music is loud, the speech is inspiring, the dream feels close. But what happens when the music stops, when it's early, cold, and no one is watching? That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. It is the inner force that tells you to show up when every part of you wants to quit. It is not loud or flashy. It is quiet, consistent, and often unnoticed. But it is the reason some people keep climbing when others stop. Relying on motivation alone is like building a house on sand. It's unstable, unpredictable, and vulnerable to collapse. Motivation is based on emotion, and emotion is fleeting. You wake up one day energized and committed, but the next day you feel tired, frustrated, or discouraged. If your actions are tied only to how you feel, you'll never be consistent. You'll only act when it's convenient. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for ideal conditions. It does the work rain or shine, happy or sad, motivated or not. It's not about being robotic or rigid. It's about being loyal to the future you want, even when your current mood doesn't match. People often think discipline is restriction, that it takes away your freedom, but real freedom comes from discipline. Discipline gives you control. It hands you the power to choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure. It's the voice that says no to what's easy, so you can say yes to what's meaningful. It's the repetition of small, smart choices that eventually add up to massive transformation. When you commit to a disciplined life, you stop being a slave to impulse. You stop drifting. You start directing your life with intention. Discipline is also how you earn self-respect. Every time you do something hard, something uncomfortable, something you didn't feel like doing, you build trust with yourself. That trust compounds. You start to see yourself differently, not as someone who gives up easily or talks more than acts, but as someone who does what they say they'll do. That identity shift is powerful, because once you start seeing yourself as a disciplined person, your habits start to match. You don't need to force it. It becomes who you are. Even when it feels mundane, waking up early, sticking to your plan, showing up for your goals, those disciplined actions are shaping your future. They're casting votes for the person you're becoming. You don't need to be extreme. You just need to be consistent. Discipline isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about not quitting when it gets hard. It's about showing up again and again until it becomes automatic, until it becomes a lifestyle, until one day the things that once felt impossible feel normal, not because motivation carried you, but because discipline built you. We often think life changes in giant leaps, in dramatic moments of clarity or monumental breakthroughs. But the truth is, real transformation is built on small wins. It's not the big things you do once that change your life. It's the small things you do consistently. These wins might not make headlines, they may not earn you applause, but they are the invisible bricks that build the foundation of greatness. A 15-minute workout, a 10-page read, choosing water instead of soda, saying no when it's hard, waking up just a little earlier. These decisions might feel insignificant in the moment, but stacked over time, they create momentum that's hard to stop. Momentum doesn't come from waiting for inspiration. It comes from doing anything that nudges you forward. You don't need to overhaul your life in a day. You just need to take one intentional step, and then another, and then another. Every small win reinforces your belief in what's possible. It trains your brain to recognize that you are capable, that your actions matter, and that progress is within reach. You build confidence not by thinking about change, but by proving to yourself that you can create it one small win at a time. The power of these small victories lies not in their size, but in their consistency. Repetition transforms effort into identity. When you succeed in the little things, you build the internal narrative of a person who follows through. You start to feel proud, empowered, and in control. You start to believe in your ability to keep going, and that belief becomes fuel. Small wins create momentum, and momentum creates motivation. You don't wait to feel ready, you act, and readiness shows up in response. You don't wait to feel motivated, you win small, and motivation begins to grow. It's easy to underestimate what small wins do because we live in a world that glorifies extremes. People loved dramatic before, and after stories, viral transformations, overnight success. But those are the exception, not the rule. The rule is this: lasting change is born in the small, often boring, quiet decisions that compound over time. You don't notice the weight of a single drop of water, but a steady stream can carve through stone. Your habits, no matter how small, are doing just that, carving through the resistance in your life, shaping your character, and revealing your potential. The best part: small wins are within your control. You might not be able to change your environment, your history, or the people around you overnight, but you can make one strong decision today, and then another tomorrow. That's how you build discipline. That's how you create results. It's not about waiting for the perfect time to take a giant leap. It's about choosing to take one more step right now. The accumulation of those steps turns into progress. And that progress becomes power. You'll look back one day and realize that the life you were chasing wasn't built in a single moment of brilliance, but in a series of ordinary moments that you chose not to waste. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and yet it's the one thing most people give away without thought. Every day, you wake up with the same 24 hours as the most successful people in the world, but how you use those hours determines the quality of your life. The truth is, you don't have a time problem, you have a focus problem. The modern world is built to steal your attention, to fill your mind with noise, to distract you from your purpose. Notifications, social media, endless scrolling, constant comparison, they're not just harmless habits. They are enemies of your potential. The more you entertain distraction, the less energy you have for direction. The more you say yes to things that drain you, the more you delay everything that could elevate you. To transform your life in 6 months, you must become ruthless with your time and energy. That means setting boundaries that protect your focus. That means learning to say no without guilt. That means recognizing that every yes is a trade-off, a sacrifice of something else, maybe your workout, your reading time, your business idea, your peace of mind. You cannot become extraordinary by living like everyone else. You must decide what truly matters and organize your life around that. Stop treating your time like it's unlimited. It isn't. You don't get to live the same day over and over and expect new results. If you want to grow, you need to audit how you're spending your minutes, because how you spend your minutes is how you spend your life. There will always be people, situations, and tasks that pull at your attention. But not everything deserves access to your mind. Not every message needs a reply. Not every invitation deserves a yes. You need to protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Every time you let someone's negativity into your space, every time you allow drama, gossip, or distractions to occupy your thoughts, you're giving away power that could have been used to build your goals. You must learn to differentiate between what is urgent and what is important. The world will try to confuse the two, but your transformation doesn't depend on urgency, it depends on clarity. Get clear on your values. Get clear on your priorities, Get clear on what deserves your best energy. Ruthless doesn't mean cold or selfish. It means intentional. It means no longer apologizing for choosing your growth. It means being okay with disappointing others if it means staying loyal to your future. You can be kind and still set boundaries. You can be generous and still protect your vision. Every great achiever has learned to manage their energy like a currency, investing it where it multiplies, not where it gets wasted. When you guard your attention, you create space for creativity. When you protect your time, you create margin for strategy, rest, and growth. And when you eliminate what doesn't matter, what truly matters begins to rise to the surface. You cannot depend on motivation to carry you through the hard days, and you certainly can't rely on willpower to make every decision for you. Willpower is a limited resource. It fades with fatigue, stress, and distractions. If every single decision in your day requires effort and mental energy, you'll burn out before you reach any meaningful progress. That's where systems come in. Systems are the scaffolding of transformation. They are the invisible frameworks that support you when your emotions are inconsistent. The people who seem incredibly disciplined, who always show up, who never miss, they're not superhuman. They've simply built systems that reduce friction, eliminate choice fatigue, and make success automatic. A good system makes the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard. It removes decision-making from the equation by creating structure, environment, and accountability around your goals. It's not about making yourself do the right thing, it's about designing your life so the right thing becomes the default. You wake up, and your workout clothes are already set out. Your phone is in another room, so you start the morning with silence and purpose. Your meals are prepped, so you don't reach for junk in a moment of hunger. These are not accidents. They are intentional systems designed to support your highest self. Systems help you avoid the trap of relying on mood. Some days you'll be tired. Some days you'll feel uninspired. Some days you'll want to quit. But if you've built the right systems, your actions aren't based on how you feel, they're based on what you've designed. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't skip it just because you're not in the mood. It's part of your routine. That's what systems do. They turn powerful habits into non-negotiable routines. And the more you repeat them, the more your identity begins to shift. The beauty of systems is that they scale. A well-designed system doesn't just help you survive the day, it compounds over time. It makes each day more productive, each decision more aligned, and each step more purposeful. It also frees up mental energy. Instead of wasting willpower on everyday decisions, you focus that energy on growth, creativity, and problem solving. This is how people do more with less stress. They're not more talented. They've just learned how to reduce resistance and automate discipline. Your environment plays a huge role in your systems. If your space is cluttered, your habits will be too. If your digital world is chaotic, your focus will suffer. Systems are not just routines, they include your surroundings, your tools, your schedule, even your relationships. Who you follow, what you consume, where you work, how you plan your day, it all adds up. And the most effective systems aren't rigid. They're adaptive. They grow with you. They evolve as your goals evolve. What matters most is that they are intentional. You don't drift into excellence. You systemize your way into it. Success doesn't happen because you hope it will. It happens because you build a system that refuses to let you fail. Lasting change is never just about what you do. It's about who you believe you are. You can set goals, build routines, make plans, and create vision boards. But if your identity doesn't align with your actions, the change will never stick. At some point, your behavior will always return to what you believe about yourself. That's why people self-sabotage, fall back into old patterns, or quit when progress begins. It's not that they didn't want the change badly enough, it's that they were still carrying the identity of someone who fails, someone who struggles, someone who doesn't finish what they start. Until you shift your identity, your results will always be temporary. The most powerful transformations happen when you stop focusing solely on outcomes and start focusing on becoming the kind of person who naturally creates those outcomes. If you want to get in shape, don't just set a goal to lose weight. Start identifying as someone who takes care of their body. If you want to be successful in business, don't just chase money. Begin to see yourself as a builder, a creator, a disciplined problem solver. The shift is internal first. You act in alignment with who you believe you are. That's how habits form at the core. Your identity is shaped by evidence, and you gather that evidence through consistent action. Every time you show up early, you're casting a vote for being disciplined. Every time you finish a task you didn't feel like doing, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who follows through. And over time, these small, repetitive actions stack up and rewire your self-image. The key is to act like the person you want to become even before you feel like that person. This isn't fake, it's training. You are teaching your mind to recognize a new standard. Language also matters. The way you speak about yourself, even in silence, shapes your identity. If you keep saying, "I'm lazy," "I'm not a morning person," "I'm terrible with consistency," you're writing a script that your actions will follow. But if you begin to say, "I'm becoming more disciplined," "I prioritize my goals," "I take my life seriously," those words plant new seeds. Identity is built by repetition. Your mind believes what you show it more than what you tell it. If your actions reflect your new identity long enough, your belief will eventually catch up. This identity shift also influences what you tolerate. When your identity is rooted in excellence, you start rejecting excuses. You stop letting bad habits slide. You no longer feel comfortable in environments that don't align with your standards. You raise your bar not out of arrogance, but out of alignment with who you are becoming. You stop negotiating with your old self. You stop settling. You stop shrinking to fit into places you've outgrown. And the more you align your daily actions with this elevated identity, the more your outer world starts to mirror the transformation happening within. The work is not just about changing your life, it's about changing the person who's living it.